Hello viewers, welcome to Excel Health Arena. Still on family planning. We've been talking about natural method of family planning. We talked about withdrawal method, Coitus interruptus. I said the failure rate is about 25%. That means 25 out of 100 couple or couples have a failed method. When they try using withdrawal method, it failed them. 25 out of 100 couples. So that means 75 couples can scale through or are able to scale through, while 25 will get pregnant in most instances. So it has a significant failure rate. That is why we must not joke with it. If a couple does not at any rate want to get pregnant, then they must understand that withdrawal method is not a very good method for them because it has high or significant failure rate. So advantages of withdrawal method, even though it's not significantly safe, or let me say it has a significant failure rate, it is a natural method that does not require any device. It doesn't require any injection. It doesn't require anything to be inserted into the body. It is just natural, the way God has made it. So for people that desire natural things, that they don't want to put anything in their body, they don't want to go through any physiological changes and all that, in a situation like that, it's a very good method for them. It is at no cost. There is no need, there is no cost attached to it. So then there are no known side effects. Then culturally, morally, it is acceptable. There are people whose religion does not support family planning, like that in its context. But for natural methods, you can always use natural methods, and it's morally and spiritually or culturally okay, and so nothing to worry about. Then it is better than using birth control method. So it is better than not using birth control method at all. It is better than not using anything. Okay, it is better than not using anything. Now the disadvantages, I've talked about high rate of failure. It's something we must understand. Then intercourse may not be quite pleasurable because the man is conscious of the fact that he has to target the time he needs to withdraw his manhood. For that reason, it may not make the man to relax very well and enjoy the intercourse as such. It may not allow the man to enjoy the intercourse as such, even the woman, because at a point there has to be interruption. That is why we call it coitus interruptus. So because of the interruption, it may not be quite pleasurable as required or as people would want. Then it does not protect against sexually transmitted infections. So we must know that. Then the safe period method, we call it calendar method or rhythm method. Rhythm method. And the basis is for us to identify the ovulation period, which happens usually between 12 and 16 days. I'm going to talk about that. We identify ovulation period and avoid intercourse during this period so that pregnancy does not occur. Okay, so that is that. Now, don't forget, I've said that a woman naturally has, on the average, 28-day cycle. 28 days naturally, that is the average. There are women that have 21 days. There are women that have 35 days. And that's why I gave a range. When I was talking about menstrual cycle the other time, I gave a range between 21 days and 35 days. So now it depends on the number of days that you are using. It depends on the interval between the last menstrual period and the next. How many days do you have between your last menstrual period, the day of the last menstrual period, the last day of the menstrual period, and the first day of another menstrual period? How many days do you have in between the two? 2 months. So the number of days will go a long way in determining how plus or minus days will come in place if you need to calculate your safe period. So that is about the natural method of family planning, whereby you calculate safe period or calendar rhythm. Okay, so I would talk about the calendar calculation. Now, for someone that has a 28-day cycle, we want to use that as a test dose. Everybody can now use that to calculate our whole, to be able to know the plus or minus. Okay, for a woman with 28-day cycle, the first day of menstrual period, day 1 of menstrual period to day 4, usually the woman menstruates. Let me say this, that when we are saying day 5, day 6, we are not referring to the dates of the month. Okay, oh, this is month of April, so day 1 means April 1st. We are not saying day 1, day 2, the number of days we are mentioning. We are not referring to the dates of that month. We are just referring to the day based on the menstrual cycle of that person. So for somebody that has 28-day menstrual cycle, that means the last day of the menstrual period to the beginning of another menstrual period, when the woman will see another menses, 28 days on the average. So for people that have that, they will calculate it in a way that, okay, now when another menses comes, now the first day of the menstrual period, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, most likely by the fourth day, the blood is dry, and the menstrual phase is just rounding off. It's rounding off like that. And so in a situation like that, day 1 to 4, usually in most instances, there will not be intercourse during the menstrual period. Okay, but after the menstrual period, usually between day 5 and day 14, that is the time before ovulation, because by expectation, a 28-day cycle, by the time it is day 14, it is expected that the woman will ovulate. So when a woman that has 28-day cycle is calculating, she will tilt her mind towards day 14 in that cycle. That is when she is likely to ovulate. Now, if she is expecting to ovulate on day 14, that means between day 5 that the menstrual cycle has finished, and between that day 5 and day 14 that she will ovulate, what will happen? She's not totally safe in that period. From day 5 of menses, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, most of the time, absolutely, up till day 8 after menses, she's safe. The reason is this. You may ask, okay, if we say up to day 8 she's safe, and she's expecting to ovulate on day 14, why? She should be safe till day 14. No, she's not. The reason is that sperm and egg, they have a life cycle. If she has intercourse day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, or day 14, let's say that sperm has the tendency for, it's not in all cases, but sperm has the tendency to live for between 3 to 5 days. So that means if she's expecting to ovulate on day 14, any intercourse she has before day 14, if it is less than 5 days before day 14, she has tendency to get pregnant, because the sperm might not have died. So for that reason, because sperm can live up to 72 to let's say 3 days to 5 days, because of that, she must understand that if she had intercourse 5 days before day 14, that she would ovulate. The sperm can still live up till that time, and if she ovulates on the day 14, the sperm can still fertilize that egg. She can get pregnant. Then, if after day 14 she does not get pregnant, and yet she ovulates on day 14, she should also remember that from the ovulation day 14, the egg also has tendency to live for about 3 to 5 days